Can the two of you hang out? Like, could you go to a bar without there being an incident?
Well, we probably could not go to a bar that was full without there being an incident of some sort.
First of all, the bar would be full because he travels with 40 people, so...
I'm not sure about all that. But what is true is when we're hanging out, it's usually probably in either our house or their house or a friend's house. We can't just take a stroll through Central Park. That would involve a lot of selfies.
And in the book, you talk about deciding to run for office.
Well, look, I had been on sort of a whirlwind. I had unsuccessfully run for Congress. I was already a state legislator. Then I ran for the U.S. Senate and won. I had only been a senator for 2 years when people started approaching me about the possibility of running for president. And we had two small kids. Michelle was still working. I was gone a lot. She's looking after little kids without a lot of support from me. She was not thrilled with the initial idea of me running for president, I think it's fair to say. It's just a reminder that what I never took for granted was the sacrifices she made during this whole process. We were lucky that once I became president, and I've spoken about this before, you're actually living above the store. So I actually ended up having more time with her and the girls after I became president because everybody comes to you, and then at the end of the day, you just go upstairs and you don't have any commute time. And if you have to go back down to the office, you can do it after dinner and reading to the girls and helping them with their homework. And so that process, that period was probably a little bit easier. Campaigning was rough. And the fact that she actually hung in there is a testament to her saintly ways.
And Bruce, you talk about performing in the White House. Am I right in thinking that the White House gave you your Broadway show?
Yeah, last couple of weeks.
I might not go that far. I didn't just hand it to him and say, here. He did originally write the songs and the book upon which they were based, so I don't want to overdo it, but I'll take a sliver of credit.
But he did suggest that I should take what I did at the White House and find a way to make it a show that other folks could hear. And he gave me a good nudge there, so I got to give him some credit.
And it sounds like after the camera stopped rolling, the party continued at the White House.
Well, what is true is we had some good parties at the White House.
Woo!
There's no doubt. I mean, part of it is the fact that, we had amazing people like Bruce who were willing to play. And it turns out that folks, if they're at a good party, they don't want to go home even when it's the White House. So it would go late sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And people misbehaved in ways I would not have expected under the portrait of George Washington and Martha Washington. Nothing illegal, but yeah.
Fair enough. You're okay. It's done now. It's history.
Something that's scandalous.
And, you talk about these amazing people you got to perform at the White House. Did anyone turn you down? Was there anyone you couldn't get?
Honestly, no. One of the most remarkable performances we had at a party in the White House, he did technically turn us down the first time, and that was Prince.
Wow.
In fact, in the book, I think there's a picture of me dancing with Sasha on stage with Prince playing in the background. It was actually probably 2 months, 3 months before he passed. And so it was one of his last performances.
That's incredible.
And he could not have been.
That must have been unbelievable.
It was unbelievable. And he actually performed on the keyboards with Stevie Wonder and did some stuff, and he could not have been better.
Wow. And finally, I just want to ask you, as a former president, you talk in the book about the state of the world and the deep divisions in society and politics. Do you ever think we'll see a time again when we can hear from moderate voices?
Graham, it's not just what we're looking for, I think, is moderation. Climate change is a big problem. We need some pretty bold solutions. Obviously, racial divisions, economic inequality, that requires bold initiatives. What I think we are looking for, though, is a sense of a common recognition of each other, and that we can function politically without demonizing the other side or hating the other side. I think having that baseline sense of respect for each other as citizens.
And for the truth.
And for the truth. And for values that I think our parents all raised us on. Honesty, responsibility, kindness. Those things I think we can recapture and have to recapture if we're going to make any progress.
And tell me this, is the podcast going to continue, or are you done now?
Well, I think we have talked ourselves out. My hope is that alongside the book that Bruce gets back to writing some songs, and maybe I'll write a few things on my own, and
keep going.
We'll keep going as long as people will have us, I'm sure.
President Obama, is this really all about you wanting to go on tour with Bruce Springsteen? Is that really what you want?
There is no doubt that a lot of politicians are just failed rock stars. wanted to have the life that Bruce has, and we didn't have the talent.